Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
Is it a great place for a Hispanic to live? Is it a great place for a Muslim to live? For a Jew to live? For a woman to live? It's the best.
That kind of squishiness can have no place in the Republican Party that takes Congress in 2011. No place.
Hello, I'm John Andrews, former president of the Colorado Senate and currently director of the Centennial Institute, our public policy think tank here on the campus of Colorado Christian University. Join me now for a quick review of our first ever Western Conservative Summit, and as we look back, put yourself in the picture next July, when the summit will convene again, even bigger and better. On a summer weekend at the foot of the Rockies near a town called Lone Tree, Colorado, 1,000 Americans from a dozen states came together with urgent concern for their country. It was July the 9th, 2010. A stormy political decade was behind them and a crucial election campaign was ahead.
The fight now is here in Colorado. The fight that we have control over is here in Colorado.
They met for an event called Western Conservative Summit 2010. Sponsors included Centennial Institute, Colorado Christian University, the Heritage Foundation, Focus on the Family, and 20 other leading conservative groups. The speaker lineup was stellar, and the energy in that room was extraordinary.
You don't spend more than what you take in.
The theme of the weekend was Right Turn, Right Now. And if I've ever been part of a crowd that was determined to grab the steering wheel and turn things right, this crowd was the one.
What do you think the bailout was? That was nationalization. Who do you think owns General Motors today? You and I do.
From Friday evening through Sunday morning, speaker after speaker challenged the overflow crowd to recognize, in the words of our official Lone Tree Declaration, that freedom is in the balance.
The Lone Tree Declaration is adopted.
Celebrating and renewing our sweet land of liberty was a constant refrain at the summit from voices like author and radio host Dennis Prager.
The bigger the state, the smaller the citizen.
That this is not about pigmentation, it's about principles. It's not about color, it's about character.
Because we are all created equal, we can't rule each other without consent. Because we have rights from our Creator, inalienable rights, God given to us, we have them because of God, not because of government. That the purpose of government is to secure those rights.
Liberty is not America's gift to the world, it is God's gift to humanity. All men belong to God.
Because God exists, we do have unalienable rights like life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness that cannot be stripped away by the whim of any political party.
The Western Conservative Summit also focused on restoring prosperity, affirming capitalism, and getting our fiscal house in order, with Arthur Brooks of the American Enterprise Institute leading the charge.
Free enterprise is a mainstream American value. It's not just for conservatives. It's certainly not just for Republicans. It's shared by 70% of Americans. It is not a fringe issue. It is in the core of the American spirit.
We have to develop a system which encourages health savings accounts, high deductibles, where people have an opportunity to have skin in the game. That's the only way we're going to bring down cost.
I am used to being able to, this is just an example off the top of my head, look for a pair of Steve Madden pumps on eBay and be able to sort it by color, style, and size to my heart's content, although I never do it at work. Why can't I look at government spending the same way? And why doesn't that expectation catch up with government at some point for young people?
What's it been like to be in the Colorado Senate with these liberal progressives in charge?
Well, it's been challenging, of course. We've seen them raise our taxes, they call them fees most of the time, by about $1.5 billion over the past couple of years. You know, this is the first time ever in the history of Colorado that the left has been completely in charge.
What our government spends comes right out of here. Our pockets, our pursuit of happiness, our future, and now the future of our children and grandchildren.
Lieutenant General William Boykin led off the discussion on protecting the United States from its enemies in a dangerous world.
I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this nation is moving to Marxism. I've seen the pattern. I've seen the model. I understand it, as do many others like Frank Gaffney, and I hope that he'll have an opportunity to talk about this. We're moving towards Marxism. I've been criticized for saying this, and people all the time say you're a fearmonger. No, I'm not. I'm the watchman on the tower, and I'm telling you, we are moving towards Marxism.
That all of the external threats to the United States pale in comparison to the threat that Barack Obama poses to this country.
Sharia law is the constitution of Islam. Sharia law is socialization of a system and a culture. Socialization is Islamization. Socialism is the other side of the coin of Islamism.
What Ronald Reagan appreciated and taught is if we are prepared, we don't have to fight tomorrow's wars. We deter them.
Love of country ran strong all weekend, and it was a tough-minded, practical patriotism motivated for action. Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann got it started with a fiery keynote address.
It is only constitutional conservative leadership that is going to get us there. And I'm not talking Republicans, I am talking constitutional conservative leadership. That's what we need going forward.
I got up off the couch and I stood up.
Will you stand for the Constitution for the United States of America? Will you stand? God bless America! Woo!
I was a conservative Democrat, okay? I was a Democrat who was way to the right of the rest of his party. I was a Democrat that helped Clinton balance the budget and reform the welfare law and increase the size of the police force in the country and put in a federal death penalty. All of these conservative measures.
It is our privilege, it is our honor, it is our sacred duty. And if we do our part, God will bless America.
As we conclude, I'm here in the CCU President's office with Bill Armstrong. He's been a civic leader, business leader, educator, evangelist, and for 2 decades he was a congressman and senator. Now he's helping prepare the next generation of leaders here on this campus. Bill will give you the last word. How does this Western Conservative Summit fit into your vision for America?
John, America is still the greatest country of all time, and I hope it always will be. But there's no denying that we face serious problems, crucial questions. The budget deficits, the bailouts, the runaway size and scope of federal government, the courts running amok, and at some more fundamental level, the human problems of the breakup of families, pornography, drug abuse, what's happening to our children, the collapse in many areas of education. These are the kind of questions that will determine the fate of America for decades to come. And they're exactly the issues that the Western Conservative Summit is all about. Now, Western Conservative Summit 2010 was the greatest public policy conference ever seen in Colorado or the Western states. And 2011 is going to be even greater. I hope to see you in July.
Our theme for the 2011 summit will be Fulfilling America's Promise. You can make reservations online at westernconservativesummit.com. You can order additional copies of this DVD to share with friends at the same website. Help us spread the word and mark your calendar for the final weekend in July. Freedom is in the balance. As Reagan said, if not us, who? If not now, when? See you at the summit.